Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Go-Fluent English, the podcast that brings you the stories of everyday people doing extraordinary things. I am your host, Abbas, and today we are diving into a fascinating topic and how it can completely transform your life. Joining me is Ali, a passionate English teacher whose determination to learn English against all odds turned his life around. Ali, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me. It is truly a pleasure to share my story and hopefully inspire others out there.
Ali, I know our listeners are eager to hear about your incredible journey, but let us start at the beginning. What was life like for you before you decided to learn English?
Well, I grew up in a small, rural village where life revolved around farming. We had no electricity, no internet, and very few educational resources. My family worked hard to make ends meet, and my responsibilities at home often left me little time to study. Despite this, I always had a dream: to become a teacher.
Wow, that already sounds like a tough environment. What role did English play in your dream of becoming a teacher?
To be a teacher in my community, I needed to know English because it was the medium of instruction for many subjects, especially in higher education. More importantly, I knew that English was the key to accessing opportunities like scholarships, better teaching techniques, and connecting with a broader world.
That makes sense, but I imagine learning English in such conditions must have been incredibly difficult. What was your first step toward learning the language?
My journey started with a borrowed grammar book. It was an old, tattered book that my uncle had kept from his school days. I would read it every evening after finishing my chores. Since we did not have electricity, I used a small oil lamp. That book became my companion for many months.
That is amazing. A lot of people have access to countless resources today, but still find it hard to stay consistent. How did you keep yourself motivated when you had so few resources?
Motivation was definitely a challenge. At first, I made very little progress, and it was frustrating. What helped me stay motivated was focusing on small goals. For example, instead of thinking, I need to become fluent, I would think, let me memorize 10 words today, or let me learn this one grammar rule. Achieving those small goals gave me a sense of accomplishment.
Breaking goals into smaller steps is a fantastic strategy. But what about practicing? English is such a dynamic language. You really need interaction to master it. How did you manage that without teachers or peers fluent in the language?
That is a great question. Practicing English was one of the hardest parts. I would imitate radio broadcasts to improve my pronunciation. I also practiced with my cousins, even though they did not know English themselves. We would act out small conversations or repeat phrases. Sometimes I would speak out loud to myself, imagining situations like greeting someone or describing my day. It might have looked strange, but it worked.
It sounds like you found very creative ways to practice. I think a lot of people can learn from that resourcefulness. Did you have moments when you felt like giving up?
Absolutely. There were many nights when I felt hopeless. The hardest part was not seeing immediate results. Learning a language takes time, and it is easy to get discouraged. But whenever I felt like giving up, I would remind myself why I started. I wanted to be a teacher, to help others, and to show my community that anything is possible with hard work.
That is such a powerful mindset. Can you share the moment when you felt like all your hard work was starting to pay off?
Yes, I remember it clearly. About a year after I started, I picked up an old English newspaper and was able to read a full paragraph without pausing. It was not perfect, and I had to look up a few words, but it felt like magic. That moment gave me the confidence to apply for a teacher training scholarship, which ultimately changed my life.
What happened after you received the scholarship?
The scholarship allowed me to attend a training program in a nearby city. There, I met professional educators who taught me advanced teaching methods and improved my English even further. It was a completely new world for me. When I returned to my village, I started teaching English to children who, like me, had little access to education.
That must have been so fulfilling. You did not just learn English. You became a beacon of hope for your community.
Thank you. Yes, it was a full circle moment for me. Seeing those children learn gave me even more motivation to keep improving myself.
Ali, your story perfectly illustrates how hard work can change lives. What advice would you give to someone who wants to learn English but feels like it is too hard or takes too long?
I would tell them that learning English, or any skill, is a journey, not a race. Set small, realistic goals and celebrate every little achievement. Consistency is more important than perfection. Also, do not be afraid of making mistakes. Mistakes are your best teachers.
That is excellent advice. What about the emotional side? Learning something new can sometimes feel lonely or overwhelming. How do you deal with that?
It can feel lonely, but that is why it is important to connect with others who share your goal. Today, it is much easier because of the internet. You can find online groups, join language forums, or use apps to practice with others. Back when I was learning, I found ways to stay connected, even if it was just practicing with my cousins.
Ali, thank you for sharing your story. Before we wrap up, what is the one message you want our listeners to take away from today's episode?
The most important lesson is that hard work never goes unrewarded. Whether you are learning English, pursuing a career, or chasing any dream, remember that progress takes time. Stay consistent, believe in yourself, and never give up.
Thank you so much, Ali. Your journey is truly inspiring, and I know our listeners will take away so many valuable lessons from this conversation. To all our listeners, if you enjoyed this episode and feel inspired by Ali's story, please take a moment to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an episode. And if you know someone who might need a little extra motivation today, share this podcast with them. Until next time, remember, hard work is the key to unlocking your full potential. Hard work is the bridge between dreams and achievement. It is the cornerstone of success, teaching us patience, resilience, and dedication. Those who embrace hard work often find their lives transformed, achieving goals that once seemed impossible. Hard work does not merely lead to success, it shapes a person's character, unlocking potential and instilling a sense of pride and accomplishment. To better understand the power of hard work, let us delve into the story of Ali, a young man who turned his life around through sheer determination. This story beautifully demonstrates how hard work can be applied to learning English and achieving personal goals. Ali lived in a small village where resources were scarce. He dreamed of becoming a teacher, but his limited knowledge of English held him back. While others saw English as an impossible barrier, Ali saw it as a challenge he needed to conquer. Every morning, Ali worked on the family farm, and in the evenings, he studied English using an old grammar book he borrowed from his uncle. Without access to electricity, Ali lit a small oil lamp and practiced pronunciation by imitating radio broadcasts. At first, progress was slow. He struggled with grammar rules, pronunciation, and forming sentences. There were moments of frustration when he felt like giving up. However, Ali knew that persistence was the key to improvement. He broke his goal into small, manageable tasks, memorizing 10 new words a day, practicing dialogues with his cousins, and writing short paragraphs about his daily life. 1 year later, Ali's hard work paid off. He could read English newspapers, hold basic conversations, and even help his siblings with their English homework. His newfound skills opened doors. He received a scholarship to attend an international teachers training program. Today, Ali inspires others as an English teacher in his village. Learning English, like any other skill, requires consistent effort. Ali's story is a testament to the transformative power of dedication. Here is how hard work connects to mastering English. Consistency brings fluency. Regular practice, even in small amounts, builds confidence and fluency. Whether it is reading a paragraph daily or learning new vocabulary, persistence is key. Overcoming obstacles. Just as Ali had to overcome the lack of resources, language learners may face difficulties like pronunciation challenges or grammatical complexities. These barriers can be overcome with determination. Resilience against mistakes. Making errors is a natural part of learning. Ali's journey shows that mistakes are opportunities to grow and improve. Creative problem solving. When resources are scarce, finding creative solutions, such as using radio programs or online tools, can enhance learning. The lesson: hard work is worth it. Ali's story highlights that hard work is not just about achieving a goal, it is about transforming oneself. Learning English or any new skill can open doors to opportunities and foster personal growth. The journey may be difficult, but the results are worth every ounce of effort. If you are starting your journey to learn English or any new skill, remember that success is not a sudden event. It is a reward for consistent hard work. Just like Ali, your perseverance can lead you to a brighter, more promising future. Keep striving and you will amaze yourself with how far you can go.